Welcome to my digital story. I'm Haley, YinTung, CEM Year 1 student in City University. The digital story is about my industrial training in PolyU. The training lasts for 7 days, from 16th to 24th of May. The training covers 6 different aspects. Now, I'm going to show you what I have done and learned in this period. Day 1, Part 1. Non-destructive tasks. In the morning section, we have learned about different types of NDT, which is used to detect different defects like cracking of concrete and corrosion of the reinforcement, which are not easy to be discovered by visual inspections. In our workshop, we have mainly focused on 4 types of NDT. The first one is the rebound hammer test, which is to estimate the hardness of the concrete. The second one is the cover meter inspection, which can find out the location of the reinforcing bars and to determine its orientation. Also, we can estimate the bar size and concrete cover thickness. The third one is the half-cell potential test, which is mainly used to find the degree of corrosion of steel in concrete. The last one is infrared thermographic survey and the hammer tapping test, which can both detect the deboning area of external wall. Day 1, Part 2, Anchoring. Anchoring system is used to provide loading platform for connection of the structures to attach objects to concrete. In the afternoon, the instructor from HILTI had demonstrated the adhesive anchor, the torque-controlled expansion anchor, and deformation-controlled expansion anchor to us once. After that, all of us have to install the torque-controlled expansion anchor once again by ourselves. It is the first try for me, and so I find it is interesting. Day 2, Formwork. Formwork can be the temporary or permanent molds for pouring concrete to form a desired shape. In the formwork workshop, we are given 2 different tasks, which are making a square box formwork and an I-beam formwork. In making the square box formwork, we just need to use the simple hand tools, such as using the saw for cutting the timber. I-beam formwork making is a more complicated task. We have to calculate the dimension of the formwork and the timber required first. Then, cut the timber using saw bed and nail them together. Next, we can put the pieces of timber on the kicker to prevent growth loss. Finally, we can install the walling and tie bar to tie the formwork together. And our product is done. Day 3, Steel. In the first part of steel workshop, we are told how to check the crack in steel, and the tutor had demonstrated die penetrate testing to us. We found that it is a very convenient method. In the second part, we are given a task to make a steel table by using different tools and machine by ourselves. Of course, the tutor has taught and demonstrated procedure like welding and drilling before. After wear all the safety precautions, we start our task. Firstly, we have to measure and mark the details. Then, we can start cutting and drilling the steel. We should be very careful, as it is a very dangerous process. In order to have a better quality product, we can make the surface of steel smoother. After that, we can connect different parts of the steel together using bolts and nuts. Our product has finally done. Day 4, Force work. Force work is a temporary structure for supporting the construction load before the structure can take its own weight. In the force work workshop, we are given a task of installing force work together. Firstly, we have to put the screw plate on the proper location. Then, the vertical and horizontal supports, the bracing, can be put on. Next, it is important for us to check the leveling of the force work, as it will affect the stability of the force work. After that, we can place the ladder for going up. Working at height is very dangerous. We needed to wear full body harness, and the safety belt must also be properly attached to the independent lifeline to prevent falling from the falsework. And that is the falsework we done. Day 5. Brickwork and plastering. In this workshop, we can divide it into 3 parts. The first part is brickwork laying. The tutor had first demonstrated the first layer to us. He set out the boundary of the structure by using ink blocks, and spread the mortar bed, then placed the corner bricks to act as the reference first. After finishing the first layer, we have to follow to do the upper layer ourselves. The second part is plastering. We have to learn how to apply the screening on the wall and leveling it. We think that it is a bit more difficult process than brickwork laying. The final part is tiling. We have to learn how to lay the tile on the wall and also on the floor. After that, we need to try to cut the tile into smaller size to fit the edge of the wall and the floor. Furthermore, the tutor also showed us how to fix the mosaic tile on the wall and also on the floor. Day 6 and 7. Concrete. In the first part of the steel workshop, we are asked to mix the concrete with 4 different mixture ratio and ingredients to see the difference in strength and appearance of the concrete. After calculating and measuring the ingredients, we can mix them together and pour into the mold by at least 3 layers. Each layer should be compacted with the standard rod with around 20 strokes. On the next day, 4 different types of concrete products were being checked the strength by using the compression testing machine. In the second part of the steel workshop, we were asked to pour the concrete in the eye-shaped mold we made before. Firstly, we have to paint the waterproof oil throughout the interior side of the formwork to make the concrete become easier to be removed from the formwork after setting. At the same time, some of our groupmates have to calculate and measure the mass of the ingredients required. Then, we can pour the material into the mixing machine. Next, we have to check the quality of the concrete by applying the slump test, which is used for measuring the workability of the concrete. After finishing the slump test, we can pour the mixed concrete into the formwork. Then, we have to put the vibration rod into the fresh concrete for compaction in order to increase the strength. On the next day, we were asked to remove the formwork. That's our final product with only little defects. In the final part of the steel workshop, we were given a task to fix the reinforcement into the beam models. Before starting the task, we were asked to have a warm-up exercise to cut and bend a steel bar into a rectangle shape. After that, we started our task. Of course, we have to understand the reinforcement drawing and calculate the details first. Then, we have to measure and mark the spacing intervals on the beam. Next, we can fix the reinforcement in place with the steel wire and concrete cover. And finally, our product is done. We totally think it's a really hard job. I gained a lot in this 7 days workshop. The tutor and my groupmates are really helpful and patient. They teach me a lot. I learned so many practical skills that I can't find in the textbook. All of these precious experiences are very useful for my future career. And that's all of my digital story. Thank you for your attention.